Hello, it's me. Maybe you can hear me. Maybe you can't. Good morning. Hold on, I have to where are my captions? Captions! Could somebody confirm that they can hear me? Or not? You are audible. Thank you, Mantis. Appreciate it. Still learning which of these sources decides that it wants to work on any given day. But hello, Ouija. Hello, Viv. Hello, Mantis. How are you doing? Now, here's the deal. Before we even start, let me pull this up on my phone. We did really well last week. But we forgot to kill Hydras's spikes. Which means that our run was invalid. So, yes, I would like... Oh my god. Just take me to this thing, please. I'm trying to go to my profile. Our run was invalid. But today will be different, that's right. We will do it right, and most likely, suddenly, we will not PB. Where is my intended percent? Other clauses. Death percent. Reverse. Dick percent. Eco. There we go. Found it. Okay. I just want the rules so that I don't make this mistake again. Alright. Valis, trigger the cutscene. Stick percent is what I said. Oh, and I need to fix Mortcam also before we start. Because it's pointing to the floor. Not like it matters because Mort's not, like, out right now. I mean, he's over here. And you can kind of see him. But, like, not really. He's over in that spot right in the middle of the screen. Now I gotta go over here. I gotta open the interact thing and go down here, full screen, mute it. Okay. I don't know why it doesn't remember me doing that ever. Hey Aiden, nice to see ya. How you doing? Okay, let's do this. How does skipping the electric spines work? That's how you would normally do it in, I got it. Okay, that's how you would normally do it, just in an any percent. You don't have to kill the spikes in order to get to Hydras's head. But in intended percent, you do. And I did the any percent version on accident last week. So, there's a lot of time saved in these splits. We don't have to do everything perfectly, obviously, in order to get still a nice PB, so... We're running it through. If we end up behind, whatever, we're still running it through. Oopsie, yeah. I was doing really well last week. We ended up PBing by like 10 minutes last week. But we did it once, we can do it again. Might not be this week, but might be. You never know. And I mean, a lot of stupid stuff happened anyway. Like on Gaius, we got up on him like real fast. And then for whatever reason, Wander just like decided that he wasn't going to grab Gaius's head. And so I just like straight up fell back to the floor and had to get up on him again. And then Pelagia, being Pelagia, just wandered off into the middle of nowhere every single time that we were fighting. So that took probably 2 extra minutes. Pelagia is the worst. Unfortunately, Bassaran was really, really good last week. we had a plant. Which basically never happens. Also, I spent like a weirdly long time at Malice because I couldn't get Wander to turn backwards to jump. Which is like such a weird thing to lose time to. Okay. One of these. And, Wander, please. Wander! Climb, you moron! Oh my god. Is this how we're going to start? Seriously? Get up here and stab! Wander, it's his leg, dude! Stab! Thank you. Jesus Christ. We got stuck in an animation where Wander just wanted to one-hand grab constantly. Alright, well that's gonna be a time waster, but whatever. We don't need to be perfect. Alright, Alice. Stop. Not super worried about stamina or anything. Yeah, like you can see that we're losing time already. Whatever. 10 seconds, I don't care. Cool. We'll get it back. And Valis is really easy to save time on in the future if we end up PBing here, so. But yeah, really, I think, like, Gaius is gonna be the first one where it's gonna become clear whether we're gonna PB or not. I'm pretty sure there's a ton of time in Malice specifically. So, of course, we won't actually know until the end. Like, I think there's possibly 2 minutes in Malice that we could save. So it's not insignificant. Which kind of means we don't know until the end whether this run is PBable if we do poorly early on, but... Okay. Quad. I could have just restarted, but I'm not a runner who likes to reset. Partially because I don't have time, partially because I don't like the mindset that it gets you in, you know? It ramps up the stress, like, so much to me. And I think some people would think the opposite. They would think that, like, this sucks if you get, like, a poor start and then you just keep running. Like, why would you do that? It's a waste of time. But, I don't know. The pressure to reset when things don't go well just turns it into, ugh, you know? Sometimes, if something happens, like, you know, in The Last Guardian, where, like, Trico doesn't eat 2 of his barrels at the beginning in one try, it's like, okay, nah, I'll reset this. That's fine, but... But yeah, I mean, we got lots of opportunity in here. By itself, if Pelagia just didn't futz around for 5 minutes, that would be huge, so... But whatever, everything is practice, so... There is no loss. Aggro, I don't want to be on you. Oof, missed. That's okay. That's a really hard one to hit. Yeah, there we go. That's still basically just as good. Didn't quite get as high as I wanted. That's okay. We're still up here. Also didn't make it very far there, but being up is what matters. That bald spot on his side is where the sigil would go in hard mode. You're wondering why that looks different? I specifically positioned myself so I wouldn't go flying for absolutely no reason during this, and yet here we are. I could have just half-stabbed that. Whatever. I always forget that it's 2.5 and not 3. So I spend like an extra little teeny tiny bit. I'll take that half before he starts shaking. Just a little... Yep. Beautiful. Already ahead. Hey Gremlin, nice to see ya. How you doing? Alright, we've subverted already. Opportunities abound. What did y'all do this weekend? Anything fun? Just playing Pokemon right now. Which Pokemon? I guess there's a Pokemon game out now that we haven't played and I wasn't aware of it. That's not Pokopia. Although lots of people really seem to be enjoying Pokopia. Oh, Sword and Shield. Nice. Been quite a while since I thought about that game. We did play it. I think I played Shield and Husbando played Sword. I seriously just had to look at my splits right now to remember where I was going. That's probably not good. Alright. The last time this worked really well and just fine. Where I just walked up to Gaius and he hit the plate and that was it. If that doesn't happen this time, we're gonna lose some time. Rossi, hello! Good morning! How are ya? This winter will never end. You know, it was nice for most of last week. And then just all of a sudden, I think it was yesterday, might have been the day before, but I think it was yesterday. It was like straight up blizzard for a hot second, which I guess means I was probably getting the weather that you had since we're like close-ish. Just out of nowhere. And now it's like 20 degrees this morning when it was, you know, 50. But I mean, I remember, dang global warming, I remember as a kid, like, 100% you would have snow in March. There was no question that you would have, like, feet of snow in March. And now looking outside, I guess it currently says that it's 35 degrees, and there's not a flake of snow on the ground. I was hoping we'd have an early spring, yeah. I hate winter. So I am with you. Husbando loves it. It's his favorite season. I would so much rather be too hot than too cold. And I think that that's maybe an unpopular opinion. But... no aggro. Thank you. Whee! Because yeah, people are like, oh, well, if you're too cold, you can just put a bunch of blankets on. It doesn't work that way. I don't know about everybody else, but sometimes, no matter how many blankets I put on, I'm still cold. Yes, I'd rather be sweaty than shivering. Exactly. Because, like, sweating is an effort, you know? Shivering is effort. It is my muscles getting tired. Oh, I almost didn't make that, and that was terrifying. We would have reset that, for sure. If I had just fallen from Gaius, we probably actually would have just switched to boss rush. Okay. So I feel like this shouldn't work. But I'm going for it. Yeah, now he's just doing this. That's what I expected last week. Is this backing? I think this is backing him up, though, which might set him up to do this eventually. Alright, let me keep moving closer to him. I want to try to push him back. Alright, fine. I don't know what caused it to work last week. He just did it, like, instantly last week. And I'll stand, like, right on the edge. That's fine. Yeah, okay, he's doing it. And he missed. He's too close. I don't... Buddy, can you turn around, please? Why do Colossi just walk away from me? Okay. Let it be said, in case you were unclear, I hate Gaius. But not as much as I hate Pelagia. Okay, this has to work. But why does he still seem so close? Okay. Just hit me. Shut up, Dorman. Thank you. Okay. Jeez. One way or another, we got him to break his arm thing. That's what matters. Wonder, I swear to God. -9? Jeez. Yeah, I am very much looking forward to spring. Because I'm the kind of person, I wear either long sleeve t-shirts or sweatshirts basically 100% of the time. It's very, very rarely warm enough. Please just go around this little seam. That I actually wear t-shirts. I hate having to regen my stamina on his shoulders. But here we are. So yeah, there's probably like 2 weeks in the middle of July where, okay, surely that's it. Yeah. Where I can wear a t-shirt, and I would like to get to those 2 weeks. Can't see. Wonder, please just like get the plant on his stomach so we can finish this. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, so obviously we still had a ton of time to save, and that was also garbage, so there's more time there, for sure. Yeah, I love me long sleeve t-shirts. They the best. I'm currently wearing... It's kind of like in between a sweatshirt and a long sleeve t-shirt in terms of thickness. That husbando got me for Christmas. He had it made as per our usual thing where we make dumb looking sweatshirts for each other. It says I grow my own sweet berries, and it has like a bushel of like blackberries and blueberries and stuff, but with our lizards, the berries, their faces like poorly photoshopped onto some of the berries. It looks really ridiculous. I love it. So wholesome. We have a lot of sweatshirts. Oh, this is... Where am I going? Where's Phaedra? This is Phaedra, right? Yeah, this is Phaedra. We have a lot of sweatshirts that we basically only wear in the house because they're just ridiculous. Remind me and I'll post a picture in the Discord when I'm done. Okay, I would like to think, if I recall, in these splits, Phaedra went really, really well. And the rules, of course, are we have to get Phaedra to do the tunnels. It is acceptable to climb Phaedra's face. That was agreed upon. Because I was not the only person who didn't know that you could climb Phaedra's butt. Yeah. I mean, the highlight obviously was like husbando made me... Let's back up. When I first got Morty, I was despondent. I was very upset because Morty like didn't seem to be settling in very well. He was very scared, very bitey, I felt like he wasn't happy. So I was upset about it, And so husbando made me a custom sweatshirt that said certified #1 skink mom with a picture of Morty. And like, as to make me feel better. And so that started the saga of custom sweatshirts. And the next year we had both thought like, haha, funny, the phrase lizard wizard is goofy. So independently, without speaking to each other about it at all, we both surprised the other one with a shirt that said lizard wizard with a poorly photoshopped one of our lizards. There was no coordination. We didn't know the other one was doing it. And so I don't remember who opened theirs first, but the other one was just like, hang on now. You're not gonna believe this, but... And so that kind of started the tradition of making goofy shirts. We played, and they're usually video game references, nowadays. Like, I made him one that was, Divinity. He made me one that was Octopath Traveler, that was Honnet, since she was like the main character that we used a lot of the time. And the thing that she said all the time was letting my arrow flying true, because she talks she has that accent. And husbando changed it to be letting my Morty flying true, and it's just a picture of Morty shooting real fast out of a bow. Ridiculous. So it's just like, it's goofy stuff like that, Absolute nonsense. I don't like how little stamina I have, actually. I don't have a plant anymore. Wonder, please, just plant. Oh my god, Wonder! I need you to get a plant or I'm gonna fall off. Okay, just stab, please. Jesus Christ. Husbando came into my lizard life, I suppose, but at the time, I didn't have reptiles because I had come from college into an apartment that didn't allow pets. So, and we weren't allowed pets at college either. But it had been some years since I had a lizard. My most recent lizard before that was named Bob. Way to make Intended % terrifying. I don't know what the problem was. I don't usually have a problem getting a plant. I think maybe I was too far forward on her head, but... Whoops. Wonder. I need my bow. We're just gonna treat Avion like normal. I mean, we have to for Intended %, but like, it's not even a question of like, oh, I can't do a strat that I was gonna do. We're gonna do Avion. Also, and completely unrelated, this morning I had somebody call me shorty. In like the slang way, not the I'm short way, even though I am also short. And it made me feel a little gross. We're trying to sell... Once upon a time, Husbando and I acquired a Magic the Gathering collection, but it came from a smoker's home, so it smells really bad. And usually, when that kind of thing happens, you just have to consider the entire collection damaged. Like, it doesn't matter the actual surface condition of the cards. If they smell like smoke, they're damaged. So, we really want to get them out of the house, right? We want to sell them. So we finally got everything together, listed it, and that's how I got that message. Some guy messaged me and was like, hey shorty, we're thinking about buying this collection if you still have it. And it's like, don't call me shorty, man. Please don't. I don't know you. My friends can call me shorty. That's fine. Alright, Avion. You're gonna be a jerk today. Dry Avion is all I ask. Please. Hello. Avion is actually like one of the more stressful colossi for me. And I know he's like really simple, but something about the penalty you pay for failure, you know, makes him much more stressful. Like if you fall, it's a big effort to get back onto him. Kind of the same with like Pelagia, you know. Wonder, could you please just... He's gonna keep turning. All the way around. Certain Colossus I feel like I'm never consistent on. Yeah, Avion is kind of one of the wild cards, you know? Okay, fine, I'll wait till you're done flapping, jeez. Okay, that was wing down anyway, so that's nice. I could do wingtail wing, but that takes longer. No, 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 no. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're good. I mean, that's the risk you take, you know? When you do what I did, which was not wait. Don't turn enough that I can't do this. Okay. Alright, easy enough, Avion. That was fine. Bringing back some of our time from before Phaedra. But yeah, sorry, Mort hasn't been out very much, you know? It's still technically brumation season for him. He's like right in the center of the screen right now. But I know that you can't see him. Is he still sleeping? Basically. Okay, so Barba is next. The only thing we have to do with him is take him, you know, to the back of the arena. That's what's considered intended for him. You take him to the back and then you climb up his beard. And then we have Hydrus, who we will do correctly. The problem with Hydrus is that I don't remember what triggers him to do the head thing. Where he like dips in and out of the water. I think it's a PS5 thing. There's some spot where you can't run, or he'll do that. And I think it's just like straight towards it. But I don't remember, so I guess we'll find out. And I'm thinking, once we PB in Intended, which might be today, might be some other time, I'm wondering if maybe we go to Mirrored, which just flips the entire world. It's much more confusing than it sounds. Quite fun, though. I wish there were more categories of Last Guardian, you know, that weren't 3 hours. But I mean, I have the world record in Snuggle %. I have the world record in Bad Ending. I'm 3-way tied with the world record in Windmill, and I would love for it to stay that way, because that's really funny. Could always make one. I have made as many categories as I can think of. If you have ideas, I'm always willing to hear them. But like Snuggle, Windmill, and Bad Ending were all conceived out of the goal of giving people runs that weren't 3 hours, you know? And I've also done like every single meme run that I can think of. I used to be like Last Guardian was the thing that I streamed, you know? Every week we would do at least 3 hours of Last Guardian. I mean, I guess at least 3.5 hours, right? So I burned through every single idea I could possibly have between streaming that and Treaksmas, right? So I would love to hear ideas. I really, really hope that someday we get like a fully functional emulator. Because there's so much I want to do. I want to make a Last Guardian GeoGuessr, but I would want to mod the game so that the way that I envision it Like, yeah, you could just do chapter select. But that's kind of, that's not as fun as like, whoa, cool dude. I would love to turn the soldier portals into doors. You know? So you start at the beginning of the game. As soon as you find your first door, then you have access to, like, the fast travel network, right? And that requires you to have knowledge of where in the game the doors are. So that if you want to do GeoGuessr, you still have to be smart about, like, okay, what's the closest door to where I think this is that isn't too far ahead of it, you know? I think that would be really fun. Like, yeah, it would be fun to mod the game to... never quite lets me get there. To have it be like, oh, you know, Trico is Thomas the Tank Engine. That would be funny, but I would be focused on more, like, substantive mods, you know? But I cannot deny that I would put the texture model for the boy on Trico and the one for Trico on the boy. And we would have a teeny tiny Trico riding a Trico-sized boy, and it would be terrifying. This pleases me greatly. Okay, I want to actually make you mad at me. Barba, buddy, please. Yeah, we're just tippy-tapping. I get it. Thank you. Yeah, buddy. I know. I can get a full stab before he raises his head. I wish I could see. What is this camera? Last Guardian all of a sudden? Alright. We'll just take that. That should be it for that sigil. Ugh, I didn't quite get my half-Cs that I wanted there. We could just keep him in this cycle, that'd be great. Yeah. Cool. Good. Love Barba. Used to hate Barba, now love Barba. His IL is really fun. I don't like their skin, though. Like, as someone who grew up, like, in a farm community, their skin where the fur isn't has like these splotches, and it looks like what happens when a horse is like wet and then you put a saddle on them and ride them, and it kind of abrades some of their fur. And I can like smell it and feel it when I look at it, you know? Or it also just kind of looks like when you wear down leather like a saddle a little bit. Either way, kind of squicks me out. Okay, Hydrus. We have to kill the spikes. That is what we know. And in case you've never, like, looked up to actually see what's happening with these lights, it's actually really cool. They make, like, little tornadoes. Aggro, please. I wasn't controlling you for, like, 2 seconds. Hi, Quad. Sorry, buddy. Bad day for you. And then I'm not super worried about Kuro. Honestly, I very rarely think about Kuro, which I kind of like, you know? He's just very simple. And then it's Bassaran, who... I don't know. I dislike him. I don't hate him, though. I don't even hate Argus in Intended percent. I don't really care about Argus in Intended percent. He's just the bane of my existence in any category that requires me to do the skip. But it might be just about time, actually, to go back to Eco for a while. Because we're honestly about as practiced as we're gonna get with Shadow the Colossus. Unless I, like, really dig into it, which I'm not sure I want to do. So if we tune up Eco a little bit, then we could go back to Tricofecta and try to improve our time. Like, I'm not going to beat you, I don't think. And I'm probably not going to beat Tic Tac, but I think that we could do better. My Eco time was, like, really good, though, actually. Best thing about Intended is you don't have to do that stupid launch. Exactly. Like, I would so much rather run Intended than any percent. Because you don't have to do the Argus launch, you don't have to do the Bassaran launch. You know? Doing Malice the Intended way is acceptable. I have learned how to do early arrow now, but still. I do wish that Gaius would go faster. I actually don't mind doing the Gaius. Yep. I don't do the sword launch or anything, I just do the leg jump, but still. And I would obviously much rather do Hydrus without stabbing the spikes. I really don't want to 2-cycle him, but it might happen. We'll see. But first we gotta talk to him like a little baby. That's how we get him to notice us. Alright. Where's Snaky? There's Snaky. Hi, Snack. Hi, Snanko. Hi, buddy. Okay. He's on us. Now, I'd rather not get hit by, like, both of these. I'll take getting hit by that one because it gets me over here. It doesn't do that much damage, but... Intended percent, don't forget it. Yes, we have to do the spikes. We have to stab the spikies. Thank you, Ouija. No, no, no. I went backwards a little bit. Alright. Go, Wonder, please. I'm gonna do a full stab because that does do, like, non-marginal damage. You can just tickle them and they'll still die. Alright, there's the safe spot for the head. Okay, he didn't dip, which hopefully means that he's not going to when I move 2 inches here. Yeah. Great. I might have just 0.9'd that, so we might have just like a little teeny... Yeah, just a little smidge here. Should be fine. Cool. Stabbed all electric thingies. Did this correctly. Yeah, I wanted to stab the spikes, like, fully. Because then that's one less stab on his head, basically. Because of all the damage it does. One fewer stab, excuse me. Okay, so yeah, we got Kuro, no problem. Easy redemption, yeah. Yeah, no problem. And Kuro is just knock him off the wall, right? Let me see. Phaedra, Avian, Barba. No IL, jump, stab, skip, kill all the horn spikes. Use the bow to make Kuro fall. That's what I do anyway. And like I said last week, the reason that that's the rule is because in the IL and stuff, you don't use the bow. Kuro comes climbing up, you roll out the window, and you do like a falling stab onto his arms. So, that's what they don't want you to do in Intended percent. Not like you can do it anyway, it's impossible. Spent so long grinding it. Okay, so we're gonna need a bow. Also, Wonder is left-handed, I guess? But that's not true, because he holds his sword in his right hand. He's ambidextrous, I guess. Because if you're right-handed, your bow goes in your left hand. Because you pull the string with your right hand. So I guess he's ambidextrous. Someday we should just spend a stream running around this world. Looking at all the places we don't get to see in any percent, because it's beautiful. I think about that every time we go to Kuro, because it's like one of my favorite places in the game. Maybe we should go and get all the enlightenments or whatever they're called. That would certainly get us everywhere. Like, look at this place with the beautiful waterfall and sunshine. It's lovely. And the rocks over there have like water streaks. Ueda's games are many things that could be considered janky, but they are not bland. You can tell he really puts so much effort into the world. That's kind of his whole deal, you know? Would love to see you collect all shinies. Yeah, like I said, that would certainly get us, Okay, fine, aggro. That would certainly get us going to a lot of places we don't usually see. There's one in here, I think to the left and a little behind me. I don't quite remember. How many are there? Part of my brain wants to say like 49 or something, and part of my brain wants to say something ridiculous like 96. But those might just be Last Guardian barrel numbers, like, intruding upon my thoughts. There's one in Quad's door. I remember that. There's one kind of toward the edge of Argus's arena. Like, I remember some of them. 79? Okay, like kind of in between then. Okay, Kuro. I'm gonna do that again. Wonder, just whistle. Thank you. Because now I hear him roaring. This might end up being a little gross, because he's probably already on his way up. Yep, he is. But, uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, I can't see his other leg. That's not great for me. There's a twig in front of me. Wander, no. Oh, I am done for. Oh god. Okay. Honestly, might just let him kill me. Stop moving. Stop moving. Stop moving, girl. Why am I not hitting him? Oh my god. There, jeez, why are his legs just in places I can't get to? Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm just dead. I'm just dead. Okay, well that's fine. We get to start here again and just not... That was catastrophic. Pretend you didn't see that. I swear to God, I have never died on Kuro. Oh, jeez. This is ridiculous. Kuro's like the easiest, most streamlined thing ever. But see, like, this time he didn't come up right away. What is the deal with that? Alright, there. Wow, so hard. Oh my god. It's fine, but... I don't really want to be on this one first, because if he starts to, like, bend over, then it's easier to keep stabbing this one. But whatever. Look at us, we're still way ahead. It's fine. Looks ridiculous. I talked smack about him. I said he was easy, and he's like, try me. Bet. But we cool. Alright, so now it's Bassaran. I don't mind him. I shouldn't say anything, clearly, because of what just happened. But I don't necessarily mind Bassaran in Intended. It can be hard to get him over the geyser, but... it's really just about his head. You know? Probably don't sabotage yourself? Yeah. Fair. Yeah, it's just him getting stuck in that head thing. Where Wander just suddenly has butterfingers and you can't get a stab without walking off of his head and then back on. That's what's the nightmare. Alright, I need both, please. I missed. Nah, I won't do that to my nice eagle friend. Will be nice. I could run Animals of the Land. I ran that when it first became a thing, and I think my time was like 13 minutes or something. Nobody take my lizard, okay? I have one lizard world record. Nobody take that. Swear to God. It's like 7 seconds or something. I will fight you. Wait, what? Yeah. I ran lizard percent, which was like a bunch of getting all the lizards on the map, all the whitetail lizards. It was agony. And I didn't realize at first that like every lizard that I saw was not part of the run. So we spent probably a solid 15 minutes over by Hydrus. It's getting like all of the lizards. I should do a version of it where I have to reset if I actually kill the lizard. I just have to get their tails. So that we could be nice to all the lizards. Called like humane percent or something. That would be hard though. Really hard. Aggro, please, I need you to move. He's gonna start shooting. Okay. this is the closest one. Where are you going, dude? Where you going? Why aren't you coming this way? You wanna come over here? Come this way? Over by the geyser, Bassaran? Okay, okay, this could be bad. This could be not great. I almost wonder if he's closer to the other one now, but if we can just get him to pivot, he'll be like right over this. Aggro, you are blocking my view of his face, which is arguably his most important part. I need you to not do that. If he's angling toward me, that's fine. I don't know why he's doing that over there. So you could stop, please, and just come this way. Come this way a little bit, buddy. Why does every Colossus just ignore me? Come on, buddy. Get angry. Not like that, though. There we go. There we go. Do not put your foot on the thing. Okay. A lot of the time, if he slips his foot like right over the geyser, the steam from the geyser prevents you from shooting his foot. And like, unironically, this part is hard. Oh, Wander, come on, man. Because you have to... Wander, don't. Please. Oh my god. Okay, that's what I wanted. Gotta let him stabilize here. I don't know why they designed him that way, because if you just stay like where you're hanging there, where I was hanging, you will not be able to get up on him when he flips over. And I think that that's really dumb. That's too far back. I'm gonna whiff. Okay. I didn't. And if you're just gonna let me continue to do this, I am not gonna complain. Is this a plant? Whoopsie, I did not mean to stab like that. I couldn't see with all of the black goop. Yo, that rocked. Yeah, we lost time, but whatever. Because it took so long to get him over the thing, but we're still 3 minutes ahead. I almost wonder if shooting him makes it worse. Because at the end, the only time he really seemed to walk toward me was when he was de-aggroed. Like he was in pursuit mode, you know? Okay, I'm pretty sure the rules for Dirge are we can't one cycle. Yep, Dirge, no one cycle allowed. That's easy. Easy peasy. And I'm not gonna drop to SotC because it's too easy to get stuck and or die, and I would have to run all the way from the temple again if that happens. So we're just gonna dedicate a little bit of extra time to actually getting to SotC. But one thing at a time. Careful what you say, yeah. I keep forgetting every run. I keep forgetting that we can change aggro's color. Alright, Dirgy Dirge needs a bow. And then what's after Celosia? Boy, why can't I remember what's after Celosia? I have no memory of any Colossus. Oh god, is it Pelagia? Ich. Ich. On the bright side, Pelagia can basically go catastrophically. And will still essentially be on time, I think. Because Pelagia goes catastrophically so often. Pet the Schnink. I would love to pet the Schnink. We'll be doing some petting of some type, the sharp, stabby kind. Give him acupuncture. He'll feel better. I always want aggro to jump there. She can. Annoying when she doesn't, so I guess I shouldn't be complaining. But like I was saying earlier, we might, I guess, go back to eco for a while. I really struggle with eco. Like, mad respect to people like Sancho and Hayauki who can run it, like, so seamlessly. I think that's what people think about me with Last Guardian, right? Like, Last Guardian seems so impenetrable and confusing, or, like, temperamental. And to me, it just seems so natural, but that's how I feel about eco. You know, it just seems so impossible to get what I want to happen. Which is ridiculous. Everybody except for Sancho struggles with eco. He's got something for it, you know? It's ridiculous for the platinum for eco. You have to beat it in under 2 hours in-game time. And when I was actively speedrunning... Oh, I almost hit the turtle. Good thing aggro went around. When I was actively speedrunning eco to try to get, like, the best possible time I could, I think my PB in game time was 1 hour 45. It's ridiculous how tight that trophy is. Your route to Dirge bothers me. Shush. You saw nothing. We get to see the turtle. That's what matters. We get to see Turtle Lake with the big fish in it. Alright, so Dirgy Dirge has to be 2 cycles. I mean, lining up the second cycle can be kind of annoying, and it is definitely possible to die. We'll do the jumpy. Whee! Alright, Dirge. Let's do this. This music, I don't know if anybody has ever played Drakengard. Anytime that I hear this music, it makes me think of Drakengard. It sounds very similar. Oh, he hasn't opened his eyes. Open your eyes, honey. Oh, right into a pillar. You'll love to see it, because he's right here. One more for the road, my guy. Goodbye. Aggro is around. Hi, Aggro. That was nice. Petting time. See, look how much better he feels. I don't really want to be where I am. I'm close to the wall. Oh, I missed. Oh, I don't want to be close to the wall. Oh, God. Help. Whoosh. I'm okay, but I hit him. Aggro? Aggro, please. Yeah, I got the big chomp. Alright, Dirgy Dirge. Let's do this differently this time, please. Run through the middle. Aggro, please do not stop. I know you. Okay. Okay, just get out of the way of like a pillar or something. Please move. Okay, that was a little bit unfortunate, but it's fine. Yeah, I knew there was a pillar coming. But hey, you got to see the big chompers. Most people don't know that Dirge actually does have a mouth. Alright. A little bit scarier than it needed to be, but we're cool. Still saved some time. I guess I must have died in these splits. That's essentially the only explanation for how we could still save so much time. We got big chompies. He's got like insect mouth where it like opens sideways. Most people don't know he has a mouth because they never see him outside of the sand, you know? He got some chompers. I showed Husbando just the other day. I don't remember what brought it up, but I showed him the other day and he had no idea. I'm surprised that didn't kill me in one hit. I fully expected it to. Alright, onto Celosia. Little fire cat. We have to... I'm pretty sure the rules are just, you know, back it off the edge. It's how I do it every time anyway, so... JK made Dirge fly. Like you start the fight and he's flying around, or like in a... not a save editor, in a like dev mode kind of deal. Make Celosia fall by forcing it to move back and fall off the cliff with the torch. Are the rules? That's easy enough. I don't doubt that somebody like JK could make Dirge fly. JK or Nomad. So yeah, we're not gonna do the drop. We're gonna go down the stairs really fast. I say stairs, it's like a ramp, but it's possible to drop essentially straight into Celosia's arena from the top. You do it wrong, you die though, and that means running back all of this, so we'll sacrifice a little bit of time. I'll post it in the Discord later. Yeah, for sure. For sure, do it. And I will need... Actually, I will need empty hand. That would be really useful. For some reason, I often have my sword out, and then it makes things harder when I try to pick up the stick. So we take the torch, we back him off. Maybe we get a plant. We could spend a lot of time on Celosia if we can never get a plant. God knows that is difficult for whatever reason. Like, it should just be, you jump down, you land on Celosia's back, and as long as you just start stabbing right away, you have a plant. And yet that hasn't worked for me in like a year. I don't know why. Okay. Basically, Wander, please. We're just gonna drop down these real quick. Ouch. little far. Fine. Okay. Cool. So yeah, we got some running to do, but we would have dropped like over there by the pillars by falling from the top and doing like a sideways thing. But not right now. Not at the risk of having to do that entire run again, so. We took, you know, an extra 20 seconds or whatever, and now we're essentially where we would have been anyway. I don't know that I've ever fully explored this place. Like, without Celosia. I don't know that I've ever been here, aside from that, to, like, look at this temple and all of that stuff. Look at the lake. Are there fish in the lake? I don't know. Okay, Celosia, let's go. I missed, for whatever reason. Yeah, I think it would be nice to do like a little walkabout. Yeah, I couldn't quite tell where that was for some reason. Alright. It would be nice to maybe... Buddy! Hey! Why are the Colossi just broken for me today? He was not afraid of this at all. And now this is gonna take forever and my torch is gonna go out. This torch can go out in case you were unclear. And it is going to if he doesn't hurry. It is going. I'm gonna get all the way to the edge. We're just gonna take as long as possible. Please just fall. Okay, good. No fish in that lake for some reason? They heard you. I guess I just need to stop speaking because, jeez. Where's my sword? Thank you. Yeah, like already I don't have a plan. God knows why. Okay, but I think I recovered it in that second stab, yeah. Or in that second grab. Great. Jeez. We good. We still ahead. Like, when has Celosia ever just ignored the torch? That's his whole deal. But hey, now it's Pelagia time. Everybody's favorite time. This is the time where everything goes 100% according to plan, and we go really fast. At least after that we get phalanx. I don't remember, I don't remember if one cycle phalanx is allowed. I think it is. Alright, but let's look at the rules for Pelagia. I'm pretty sure the only rule is, or the only rule that applies to us, is you have to watch the cutscene, which means that you can't one cycle him. I think there are also rules about like no face jumps, but I don't do face jumps anyway. Let's see. If you're wondering why the camera pans up like that, it's because I keep setting the controller on my stomach. Pelagia, you're not allowed to jump on the Colossus' face early. Swim around them. No shooting animation. Cancel. Aggro, please. No one cycle allowed in normal. No jump on the head during cutscene. But yeah, just watch the scene. Oh, that's what it is. You gotta destroy all sigils on Phalanx. So yeah, you can't. I don't... Can you one cycle Phalanx while still destroying all the sigils? I don't think you can. But maybe you can. I guess if you're really confident with the barrel roll, maybe you could still make it in time. Alright, I need... No, I need the sword. We'll do that. Yeah, you just gotta go fast? Yeah. I doubt that's gonna happen, so we can try. Because I'm kind of a little baby when it comes to that barrel roll. I don't move for most of it. Right at the beginning, I will. But you could definitely be a lot more aggressive, you know? Oh, aggro! Aggro, no! Thought we were about to fall through the world. Aggro just got a little turned around. It's okay. Aggro, why? Isn't that always the question? It's been so long, Aiden, since I've run Companion Be Gone. I no longer remember quite how to get aggro to fall, but I'm sure it would take me a solid 10 minutes to get it to work again. That would be fun to run again. That's... I mean, let's think about it. That's probably... That's probably 3.5 hours, right? For that entire category. If you think about it, because Stick is gonna take you probably 2 hours. Bad Ending, for me, is 55 minutes to an hour. And then, however long it takes you to do aggro, yeah, maybe 15 minutes. So many fun categories. That's one of the things I really like about the Team Eco community is everybody just loves their games so much that they're just like, yeah, let's find as many possible ways to be ridiculous and play these as possible. I'm still working on creating one for Last Guardian. Aiden, if you have ideas, I would love to hear them. That's essentially like Death Percent, kind of. Where it's just like Trico abuses you in just as many ways as possible. Like, you know, he sneezes you off a cliff. He doesn't save you in an armor fight. He smacks you against the ceiling in the Coliseum, you know? Like, just not necessarily those specifically, but like that kind of vibe, you know? Where the challenge is learning how to get Trico to do these ridiculous things. I would love to have one where like he rushes at you running out of a place and it knocks you off a cliff, you know, things like that. Just goofy, ridiculous nonsense. Oh, he is so close to this thing already. Oh, I can't see. I figured that would be fine, but... Alright, now are you just gonna, like, wander away? Yeah, that was really nice. I'm still gonna get him, like, as much as possible. Yeah, like, I could one-cycle him here, but I'm not allowed, so... Because we have to watch that happen. So, that's what Intended percent is, because we have to get him to move. I don't really want to be on the side of him that I'm on. And in fact, I will move, because he's already, like, facing in a direction that I don't want. Ouchie! Forgot that he did that. And now he's turning like so far. But, you know, it is what it is. This is Pelagia. I would expect nothing less. Did you stop turning to the side while you throw your head? Like, why are you going this way? Why are you just throwing your head and deciding that, hey, by the way, I'm also gonna go to the right, which is just so far from anything that would be helpful? Like, I don't care which one of these he goes to. Wonder. He wasn't even moving. I'm just gonna let him throw his head, because he's gonna teleport out from under me if I don't. Hey, look at this! Why is he turning sideways? Alright, we'll let him walk. Okay. We're up here, at least. And it should be one stab, so... Presuming he doesn't walk away. Which he's not. Well, despite the fact that he wandered off into the middle of nowhere, that might be... Don't you leave. That might be just about the best Pelagia we've gotten in this run. Being essentially right at that building at the beginning was really nice. And like, yeah, he wandered off, but would you expect anything else from our big toothy man? Phalanx, next. It took 3 hours to beat him. Did he just like wander around aimlessly? Or did he just get stuck in a corner? Because I could see either one happening. It's kind of funny that, you know, if you think about it, people playing Pelagia who don't necessarily know what's happening, it's almost like the devs expect that you're on him, and then the player's just like, there's no what am I supposed to do? And they just start swinging, and it happens to work, you know? I find that very funny. I am kind of low-key worried about Malice. That final stretch in the tunnels is quite difficult. Imagine you actually like waited an hour for him to go toward a tower, and then yeah, you missed the jump. Because those jumps are pretty stringent. You jump pretty high, like straight up, and not like cover a ton of distance, you know? I almost missed the second jump. Sorry about the coughing. I still have not fully shaken that cough that I had in December. Don't know why. Alright, so we need bow for Phalanx. Yeah, I remember having a hard time understanding Phaedra. Because, you know, if Phaedra just watches you go into the tunnel, she doesn't really get confused so much. You know, you have to disappear. And it was really hard to get her to consistently bend down. And then in addition to not know that there was something on her butt that you could climb, so it was just her face. It was also... it was hard. And Malice, of course. I feel like most people don't fully understand the full scope of Malice. For example, I didn't know that you could stab his hands to make him just like hold them flat. You know, gives you a second to shoot the bow and stuff. I didn't know you could do that. So I was just like quick shotting the bow while he was rotating his hand. I feel like Phalanx starts further forward in any percent / any of those kind of categories than he does in Boss Rush, like at the statue. Did I say further forward? I meant not as far forward. He's already made more progress in the Boss Rush, is what I'm trying to say. But I don't know if that's true. Alright, so we have to... Oh god. See, I'm such a baby. Because I can't see past the flap. So I'm afraid to do that, like, first jump, you know? I'm trying to be brave. I wish the camera would stop with all of its nonsense. Wonder, please. Wonder, god damn it! I would have loved to one cycle that, but Jesus Christ, Wonder just slip sliding around like he was on a fucking water slide. So close. I could have done it if Wonder wasn't doing that, you know? That's okay. I mean, we expected to 2-cycle, so 1 cycle would have just been kind of like icing on the cake. Where you at, Phalanx? Further away than I would have hoped. Yeah, we're like 100% spawn camping here. And I only regret it a little bit. Oh, I did actually hit that first one. I counted on the spin as he was coming out of the sand. Whoa, aggro! Are you gonna keep turning left? Phalanx, come on, man. I don't like this side. I'd rather be on his right. But whatever, we're up here. That's cool. I understand that the camera wants to be cinematic and show you like running long ways across this giant creature, but I would love to just have the camera pointed like where I want to point. Yeah, like why couldn't we have just stabbed like that last time? Cool, cool. Phalanx. Next up, Cenobia. I love Cenobia as a Colossus. I love Cenobia as any percent. I dislike Cenobia in Intended percent. For some reason, he seems to just like get confused more often. So, Zenobia, use all the pillars to get to the final plateau. Super jump is not allowed. Wacky jump is not allowed. Technically, it doesn't say anything about Kaze jump. But, I mean, it's pointless if you do all the pillars anyway. Shadow Tash, thank you for the resub. Appreciate you. 6 years. Oh, thank you so much. I need to get sub badges. I have it on a to-do list. I have a bunch of sub badge ideas on a to-do list. Just haven't gotten them yet. If anybody has ideas for sub badges, of course, I would love to hear them. Ones that we don't already have, obviously. But like, it's funny because the very beginning sub badges are still like the crystal dragons from Spyro, from when I used to be like a big Spyro speedrunner. And I kind of like them, you know? I don't want to get rid of them. Even though we're very Mort themed. Because it's like the Spyro dragons, and then at 12 months, Mort hatches out of the crystal dragon, you know? And then we have Mort, and I'm pretty sure after that you get Mort with a knife, and then you get Mort with like the glowing red eyes in the knife. So we gotta keep going up from there. Mort with 2 butter knives. Aiden, you were the person to show me how to get to Cenobia this way, and this is so much easier. I used to go up by Hydrus, because technically you can get in that way, you know? Still no jump for aggro there. Alright, Cenobia is going to be 100% bow. Gotta say, did we not shoot Bassaran when we went past the first time? That's criminal. That's why Dirge almost killed me, because I didn't shoot Bassaran going by. But we're almost there. Not nearly as much save as we had last week, but that's okay. A PB is a PB, you know? Possible 1 minute of time save, really? If you still happen to be here at the end of the run after we get in-game time, I can run real quick and we could figure it out. Or if you just have like a video, I can watch on my own time. 30 seconds at least. I mean, that's not insignificant, of course. I'm assuming you go to the left of the lake, I would have to think, right? Like, you're not even in the zone with the lake. You probably, if I had to guess, you go past, there's a shrine kind of on the way to Dirge that I'm assuming that you would go past. Yes, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Almost there. Zenobia is like one of the longest ones to get to. They really make you work for it for these last couple. They're like the 3 furthest away. Hydrus is also really far, to be fair. And to some extent so is Celosia, but... Alright, so gotta do the pillars. Which is part of the reason why this boss has always been one of my favorites. I don't know, just something about it feels nice. It's actually Husbando's least favorite, which I find to be a crime. But, you know, people are allowed to be wrong. He doesn't like it because he said that the gimmick kind of overstays its welcome. Which I see that, you know? And it's also... This world is very immersive, and it kind of breaks your suspension of disbelief when you see the pillars, like, continually falling exactly perfectly, you know? So I get it. Okay. Hey, Zenobia. You're a cutie. Definitely a lion, not like a Cerberus or whatever people say he is. Oh, I'm a fool. I could have... No, I can't. I do have to go this way. The bestest boy! Yeah, no, I love this one. But I do see his point, you know? And I understand why he has to hit these pillars twice. It's like for the player's benefit, but I wish that sometimes he would hit them just once. Yeah, I have always assumed he was a lion, and I eventually heard other people say that he was like a bull, or like, yeah, they have called him a Cerberus. And it's like, I mean, he's a lion. He got the nice mane, he's got the claws, he's got the little tail. I think more people are in disagreement about what Celosia is, which is fair. I think that Celosia is a tiger. It's a tiger and a lion, you know? For the little guys. I'm a little far forward. Oh, tiger wolf. I mean, he also has claws, so he's got to be something like that, you know? Yeah, like saber-tooth tiger. Exactly, that kind of thing. It is kind of funny to think that, for some of these colossi, and I think this is part of Husbando's point about, like, suspension of disbelief. If Zenobia was not in this arena, our journey would just be over. Like, our hero's quest would just be over. Ah, come on. See, this is where he starts to get a little funky. Hello? I think I had to do this last time as well. Don't fall off. Because this arena is the only reason that we can expose Zenobia's sigil. The kitty bonked his head. He refused to bonk his head stubbornly until I forced him to. In an ideal world, we don't make him do that again at the end, but I know Zenobia. He's gonna be bonking. But yeah, like, just the very nature of this arena and how this fight progresses. We just would never have been able to access Zenobia's sigil if he wasn't in this specific arena, you know? So, as far as the people who sealed Dorman away, it's like, ooh, you should've just put Zenobia in like put him in a Kuro type situation, you know? Put him just in a bucket, and you would be unstoppable. But look at that, it's all destroyed everywhere. It's so cool. Please fall. Oh, Wonder, why would you do that? Got teleported all over the place. And it ended up working out, but... Zenobia, what are you doing all the way over there? Hi. And I mean, to be fair, I guess Zenobia also would have been completely invulnerable if he wasn't such a dingus. This is his own fault. Alright, bonkin' time. I've been playing Lies of P. We're getting the platinum right now, so second playthrough. I genuinely just clicked R3 to lock onto Zenobia. Because I'm used to Lies of P. Yo, we have a... Oh, I thought we had a plant. We don't. Abandoned ship. I mean, it's still alright. Why are you so far back there? Good enough. Again, we're losing time because of whatever reason Zenobia is getting confused halfway through. You know, we have to go back down. Okay. Argus. Obviously. I love the fact that I get to do Argus this way. It's just so much less pressure, you know, as opposed to doing the skip. I am kind of worried about Malice. We have a lot of time save in Malice. For some reason, I just did atrociously horrible, which is nice to know. You know, nice to know that that's waiting for us. But it really just is that final stretch of the tunnels. There's the final little barrier is further away than all the other ones, and it can be kind of rough. But one thing at a time. Argus for now. And I guess I will want the bow. Just once, it would be nice to do this the way I did it when this game first came out and I didn't know any better. I thought that it was Ruby actually who taught me that this wasn't the case. I thought that the only way you could get into Argus's hand, not to get him to drop his sword, but like to actually get into his hand to get the sigil, was to drop from his shoulder. I had no idea that Argus has a move where he slams into the ground with his hand and his hand is open. So I was, I think, doing maybe an intended percent, or maybe an any percent where I hadn't learned the launch yet. And Ruby was in chat, And I was like, oh, I missed the hand. I have to go all the way back up. And Ruby was like, you what? Why would you have to go back up? Well, that's how it works, Aiden, right? Sometimes you're just like, it doesn't even feel like you're in the zone. You're just like hanging out, whatever, and you're doing the Argus launch and you don't even think about it. And then you're like, okay, I know how to do this. Cool. That's nice. I've got this locked in. I finally learned this. And then you just go to do it again and you're like, nope, I have never learned a single thing in my entire life. What am I doing? I don't even know who this Colossus is. You know? It just vanishes whenever it feels like it. And you can't get it back for so long. To me, it doesn't matter how many times you do the Argus launch. You are always at risk of not knowing how to do it anymore. And I think for me, it's that I've never found a consistent, like, tell. It's very vibes, you know? Because some people are like, oh, do it when his leg looks like this, or when you hear the sound effect of his stomp, or, you know, whatever metric they use. And it's like, none of those things have really helped me, even though I've tried. So, maybe that's what makes it feel like it's so unpredictable. But then sometimes I can do it 7 times in a row, you know? It don't rightly make no sense. This arena is so long. I think part of the reason that Argus is so far away, like time-wise, is because of all this time you spend going across this entire arena. Is there an enlightenment, like, up there somewhere? I want to say that there is. It's been so long since I've gotten them all. I kind of, like, want to, because you get the sword, you know? Which is just, like, cool to have. Is there a category with Queen's Sword? That would be fun to run. Just, you know, for goofs. You need the parachute to get it? I thought it was something like that. Because I seem to recall having to look up whether you could do it for whatever reason during boss rush or something. I don't remember. It felt like there was some extenuating reason why I needed to know whether you could do it during the Argus boss fight. I no longer have any memory of whether that is true. I'm gonna keep shooting at his head because there's a sigil up there and I could be doing damage. Can't see your head, buddy. It doesn't matter if I shoot him in the arm here, because we haven't watched the bridge cutscene, so he won't drop his sword. Cool. Okay. That went pretty well. Have you run coin percent? Like, is that fun? Argus, what are you doing? Please get over here. Hey, Dragon Sage. Nice to see ya. How you doing? Don't move. Don't leave. I'd watch that. Yeah, if we can like wrap it into a speedrun, that would be cool. Finished doctor visit. Now lunch. Congratulations. I just got a message this morning reminding me I have a doctor visit on April 7th. Yay. Oh, why would you do that, Wonder? We were landed on his head. We could have started stabbing. I swear to God, do not tell me that you can't climb up here. He was doing that one-handed hold of him, like, not being able to climb to a specific place. Alright. Wonder, please. Oh my God, you're the worst. I want to be back on Argus's head a little bit. Wonder, we cannot just get stuck here forever, my dude. No, 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 God damn it. It's okay. It's okay because now that the bridge is broken, I can hit his arm. I just have to figure out how. I can be faster than him going around the back. I just kind of can't see. I don't know where he's walking to. Okay, yep. He's walking away. He's walking away. There we go. Jeez. He's got so many arrows sticking out of his head. Well, so much for, you know, falling down onto his hand. But that was mostly just like a haha goof that I wanted to do, so. No biggie. We'll get him to just swing at us. Every boss is... Yeah, today, every boss has been so uncooperative. I don't know how to get him to actually do the hand thing, though, instead of his feet. I'm assuming it's a range thing. You stop walking. Stop following me. This is just gonna be how it is today? Okay, here we go. Get up, Wonder. You don't have very much time, you asshole. I remember that happening, where he just yoinks it away really quick. Okay, we're in there. And we actually, like, have the fur, which is huge. Normally, that's a problem, where you grab his bracelet. Okay. Hate that for us, but we're still ahead. We are leaving a lot of opportunity in this category. We have, like, a couple minutes still in here without even taking Malice. Yeah, I did not want to have to climb him again. But, you know, despite that, still dislike Gaius more. In Intended percent. In any percent, in Boss Rush, I actually don't mind him that much. Because you can do the skip onto his leg. Or, if you're better than me, you can do the launch. But they flip, kind of. In Intended percent, I dislike Gaius more than Argus. And then in all the other categories, I just loathe Argus and don't mind Gaius. So, here we go. It's Malice time. And I want the sword because we need to open the door. Thank you, Aiden, for pointing out that I can go this way. I used to go the Phalanx way. And that was obviously much longer. it was kind of always... Like, I kind of took it for granted. Because, you know, I had played the bejesus out of this game from the time it came out all the way through until I started speedrunning it. So that's like, you know, more than a decade. Because I love this game. And to start speedrunning it and just be like, okay, the next Colossus is this. I know how to go to it, so I never really spent very much time being like, okay, but how should I go to it, you know? That was just kind of a given that as a casual player, I know how to get to the Colossus, so... We really don't see a lot of this part of the map. The edges of the map to the left and right, we don't see a lot of in the speedrun, and there's some of the prettiest. Especially the right-hand side, with like the land bridges and the beach and all that. That's really nice. And all the rocks that are around that. But even down here, those chunky rocks there in the distance are cool to explore. The closest we've ever come to exploring the map is during Platinum Percent. Or, not Platinum Percent. Oh, that would be easy. Platfecta. The 36-hour run. And I was not really in the mental place to be appreciative of the exploration we were doing at that time. I was 32 hours into a 36-hour run and was suffering, so... I know that there's a better way to get down than this zigzagging that I'm doing, but I don't know. Yeah, it adds up for sure. Like across a run where you have to do so much with aggro, it adds up for sure. And just things also like, you know, in Kuro, making aggro stop and then start again, even little things like that make a big difference. I don't do that kind of stuff right now, you know? Didn't quite make it to where I wanted to go. It's like a couple steps early. Better than going too far though, can tell you that much. Okay, I just passed an enlightenment, I could hear it. So we'll see how this treats us. I was gonna say I'm kind of tempted to save right there. But we'll checkpoint when we start Malice, as long as aggro doesn't mess this up. Okay. I see so many people die there, and I think it's because they try to control aggro on the bridge, you know? And so they end up slamming aggro like into the side of the bridge because the camera's spinning. I have done that and died? Exactly. That's why I was like kind of low-key want to save at this shrine. Because you don't have a checkpoint right now. You go back to the temple. I guess technically it's called the shrine. It's a shrine of worship, right? I died there to race once? Oh no. Races are really fun. I wish we had enough people to do more consistent Last Guardian races, you know? It's goofy. And I love Goofy. Yeah, don't touch the stick. Exactly. You try to get aggro lined up as nice as you can, and then... Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, take the aggro. I like that Jesus, take the aggro could be interpreted as, like, take the horse, but also just, like, Jesus is the DPS tank of your team. He takes aggro while the healers stay in the back. Alright, we got our checkpoint here. Let's see how Malice treats us. The correct answer is to the right. I always assume it's to the left because that's where the speed run goes for tunnelless. That's why he has to get rezzed every year. He's the tank. That might be perhaps the wittiest thing I have ever heard. Okay. Whoosh! That second one came pretty quick. Okay, I couldn't get Wonder to turn around last week here. I don't know what on earth was happening. I seriously spent like 2 minutes here because I couldn't get Wonder to turn backwards to make this jump. Thank you. I don't know why that was so hard. Okay. This one scares me. I mean, this is it. This is the end, but we have to make it through this long stretch first. Malice. I don't want the double shot. Ugh. One more. Shoot me. Alright. That is worth taking the extra time. In my opinion. Oof. Thanks for the lizard treats, Dragon Sage. I actually, I still have half of the watermelon from last week. I was gonna give it to him today. I'll add a little hibiscus on top just for your treats. Alright, so woo! I don't know why I jumped that way. I have to do this fully, you know, the way the puzzle is set up with the hands and the shoulders and all that, so I'm gonna be here for a little bit, but oh, I didn't realize that he couldn't grab that. He can grab it. Wonder, what the hell are you doing? Oh my god, just get this little part. Jesus. Alright, I'm gonna do a full stab here because it can take some health. Wonder. Wonder. Please. Did you see me just standing in his fingers and not holding on to anything? Is that how we're going to treat this today? Because I'd rather not. Dude. Yeah, like this. I didn't know that you could just make him hold his arm out like this. makes me fall like that all the time, and I don't know why. That was a little bit closer to his bracer than I might have hoped I was. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Oh, the bracelet. Getting him to jump backwards from there has always been like one of the hardest things in this game to me. And the other hard thing is, whoa, jumping from here. You see? Oh my god. Fucking wonder. I'm still on his hand. Get off. Don't know why that's so hard. If you watched my streams, you know that me getting off of the hand there, just like seamlessly, is basically impossible. And I don't know why. Okay, but we've done it. We're about to save a massive amount of time. Easy. 6 minutes. So, you know, not as good as last week. We had a 10-minute save last week, but, I mean, 6 minutes is still very substantial, so. GG. I mean, we're not done, but we can still technically save time. That was so scary. I don't know why he does it that way. Like, it doesn't matter if I stand still or if I take a running jump. Doesn't matter. It's just like Wonder 99% of the time doesn't jump. So he just falls, and then it's like, am I on his breastplate? Am I still on his hand? God knows. Have I touched his bracelet and now I'm going screaming through the air at Mach 5? I don't know. I'm not gonna be goofy here with Dorman, because we can slow them down. Alright. I mean, they're not... They're not under my feet anymore, so... Blarg! Now we can do this. Just incinerate my waifu down there. Ouchie. Stop. Ouchie. Do I heal? Like, can you get Dorman killed? If you stop them from running away long enough, can you, like, get Dorman killed? Can't imagine. When they leave and the screen, like, zooms out, check out Dorman's cute little fishtail. He's got, like, a flappy dolphin tail. They're almost gone. They are back there. He's a mermaid. Alright. I've never been, like, the best at doing this. That was good. There you go. There you go. Oh, I should have stopped the timer there. I let it run longer than I had to. Sorry. Alright, we do have to keep watching. These are unskippable, so you get to enjoy these final cutscenes. And it wouldn't be an Ueda game if we didn't have a classic Ueda moment. Everything collapsing. He loves buildings that collapse. But hey, here's waifu. Gotta love her. So, as for while we're waiting for this, Thursday, going back to boat game, I might just have an entire stream import. I'm not sure. Because we need to figure out what we're going to spend our money on. We have to fix the ship, of course. We have to think. Chat probably is going to get to vote about whether we pay for a bilge pump so that I don't have to bail so often. We got to check out like how our money converts to gold so that we can see how close we are to affording the big ship. There's all sorts of stuff we can buy in port. We can buy paintings. You know, we can buy new equipment for our ship like stoves, a bed, you know, things like that. I mean, technically we can change the sails and everything on our ship, but I do like my ship. So nice try. Regular Lars. So we got a lot of stuff to think about on Thursday. I'm trying to still figure out if we could have a custom flag. Like if we could have a community design flag on the ship. That would be cool. It's a mod, but I'm not sure if I can get it to work. I gotta check out this alleged boat game. We putz around with a big old ship. We've just completed a long voyage across the ocean. I think it took us 3 weeks. Like real life 3 weeks of streams to get across the ocean. To a riveting conclusion last Thursday, where we had seconds left to deliver our gold before the time limit, and I leaped through the door in the final 10 seconds. And we do still have a bunch of cargo that I haven't turned in. Like, I had to turn in the gold, because that was the one that was worth money and was on a time limit. The other ones, you know, it's like, oh, I have some mail that's due in 22 days. So we are going to earn more money, but it's not quite as urgent. We'll turn it in on Thursday, see how much we earn. But I mean, any of our profits kind of have to go to fixing the ship first and foremost. Unless you want to risk it for the biscuit and keep sailing while it's damaged. But that'll be the plan for this week, Thursday at least. So now that we've PB'd in intended percent, I don't know what I want to do for speedruns, because we do have Gecko Gods coming out soon. April 19th, I think, and I definitely want to post a decent run of that, you know? I'm one of the super mods for the board, so I want to post something, you know, fairly competitive. So in between now and April 19th, I want to think of a couple more runs. Like, we could do the mirrored, like I was talking about here. We could just spend some time walking around, you know? We could look at the environment a bit. We could get enlightenments. We could do the enlightenment percent. I guess, let me look at how long that is. How long is enlightenment percent? I imagine this is in the variations. Any percent variations. Mirror mode. Miscellaneous. Blindfolded. I don't see it. That's eco. All platforms. Any percent. Boss rush variations. Aiden, where's the enlightenments? Oh god, what have I done? Oh, it's probably not full game. No. Sorry. Sneeze time. Maybe it's in the main board. I gotta look. Hi, guys. If it is even possible to continue to exist in these sealed lands, he says. Run is like 3 hours. Leaderboards. I don't want the category extensions. I want these ads to go away. Jesus. Shadow of the... No losses. Go away, ads. Alright, let's see. Leaderboards, full game. Yeah, I can't... I don't know why I can't find it. But okay, about 3 hours. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff we could do on Speedrun Tuesdays. We don't even have to do Team Eco games, technically. Like, we could go back to Spyro. I mean, let me go to my speedrun.com real quick and see all of the games that I have run. Okay. Full game runs. 1,000,000 Team Eco category extensions, as you might expect. Sword of the Sea. All Deaths in Outer Wilds. Eco. Shadow of the Colossus individually. Cat Quest 3, I would like to point out that Husbando and I still have the world record in co-op unrestricted normal no FF Infinity Tower. And we've had that for more than a year. Last Guardian, of course. Sayonara... Well, we could do Sayonara Wild Hearts. YOLO. I've always wanted that. Atlas, we just ran. Air has been a while. Spyro. Featherfall. Inside Pyre. I bet you all didn't know I even ran those things. It's been quite a while for Inside, now that I think about it. That could be fun. A Night at the Races, we have. Hollow Knight, Limbo. A lot of stuff, you know? Don't worry, in any Bindings Pantheon of the Night in Hollow Knight, I'm only 81st place. Hollow Knight runners are wild. Ooh, I want to look at the category extensions for Silksong. Yeah, I can't find coin percent either. I don't know where it is. But I want to look at the category extensions for Silksong. Because Silksong was really fun. But I'm not a big fan of doing speedruns that require like that specific execution, you know? 4 mask shards, 5 tools, 6 witches. What is Dapper Slapper? What does that mean? Lap all 3 slappable NPCs. That's funny. I like that. They do have all Bellways. I was gonna like run that and create that category because I was gonna call it Morty %. Since the Bell Beasts look like Morty. What's this one? Category rules. Ooh, no thank you for that one. Maybe we could learn Dapper Slapper. That's like an hour-long run. That's kind of funny. Main board, new game plus all glints. Huh. Yeah, the world record for Dapper Slapper is 54 minutes. And 4th place is an hour 14. There's quite a bit of variance there. But that could be fun. I don't know. Alright, we're almost through the credits. We're gonna see our time here shortly. But yeah, I mean, if we're gonna commit to any kind of like longer term run besides just Team Eco games, like I love the Team Eco community, of course. And this is always going to be like my main community, but if we wanted to deviate a little bit, I could see a little hour-long Hollow Knight run or Silk Song run being fun. Or of course we could just come back next week with Eco. Try to get that down. Well, not try to get it down, but try to get it consistent enough that we could do a Tricofecta and actually have a chance of having a nice time. Because quite honestly, Eco is a big portion of the fact that my Tricofecta isn't super fast. Because, and I don't say this obviously to gloat, but basically anybody who does Tricofecta, I am going to absolutely slaughter them in Last Guardian. The same way that, like, Tic Tac slaughters me in Shadow of the Colossus, you know? But the time difference is usually fairly significant. So if I can bring Eco down, that would help a lot. 138.06. I believe our previous PB was 144 or 145. So, yeah. We did a good job. And like I said, the nice thing is that, like, look at the beginning. We started off in the negative, and then we consistently lost time. We were down to 226 ahead at Argus. And I'm pretty sure last week we were up like 450 at that point. So there's still stuff here for us to mine should we feel so inclined in the future. Which is nice. It's always nice to have runs like that where you know there's still something left. So, let me see who is currently streaming. Who's streaming? Ruby streaming Hades too. I was just talking about Ruby.